otherwise. Me out, y'all. I just want to say this.
I'm sick and tired at the amount of great anime shift revisionist history that I see on this app. A lot of you guys don't understand how anime became cool, how it flowed into the mainstream. But as a veteran, somebody that was actually there.
Nigga, what really happened, right? What really happened that really brought anime into the 2018 Demon Slayer popped off on Twitter, right? And then COVID came right after that. COVID came right after that, and people were still buzz about the anime shit because, you feel me? So Demon Slayer blew up, right? And that shit, that was really the great shift, nigga. Because after COVID, bro, everybody all of a sudden watched anime, nigga. Why? Because niggas was in the crib for 6 months, right? And niggas was on Netflix. They watched everything. They watched, and they was like, "Fuck it, we gonna put in work on a few of these, right?" And nigga, there was a bunch of shit popping off at that time, nigga. Fucking Dragon Ball Z Tournament of Power, not Z, Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power was like a year before that, right? Fucking Goku going Ultra Instinct broke the internet for like 2 days, right? Niggas that didn't even watch anime was like, "Yo, did you see that new power up?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Nigga, dude, even know how he got that shit? No, but I seen his silver hair. That shit clean. Word. Like, bro, you gotta realize. Before this nigga even finished his sentence, the greatest shift to the anime becoming more popular was definitely Demon Slayer. Because as soon as that shit was trending on Twitter, nigga, woo, that was the nigga. Like, and it wasn't like trending in your local on anime Twitter, right? It was trending on Twitter. It was 2.5 million tweets about Demon Slayer type shit. That's what it was. It was moving.
There during the Dark Ages.
I'm gonna let him talk.
I know how this actually went down. So worry not, because today I'm going to be teaching you with this, the Great Anime Shift timeline. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, the Great Anime Shift actually wasn't one singular event. No. It was 3, marked within this period of time called the Shift Period and/or Shifting Period.
Hold on. Look at the timeline.
Both interchangeably throughout the course.
Look at the timeline.
Anyway,
my nigga.
Before I talk about the timeline,
did y'all see
the Shift Period?
2018.
It first had to
I'm telling you, bro.
Anime that came out all the way back in 2013. Attack
it's
on
in my
Titan.
blood,
now,
nigga.
a lot of people like to credit Attack on Titan as being the start of the Great Shift. However, that's not actually what happened. Attack on Titan, although very popular, was on a list of other anime that I would like to refer to as Dark Age anime. Now, the Dark Ages is what I would like to describe as that period of time where anime was really popping. However, because mainstream Western culture wasn't at the place where it could fully accept it, a lot of anime was still seen as something that was generally pretty weird. Like if you showed somebody Attack on
hold on.
What is
no. AOT did do great work with bringing it more to the Western audience because it aired so early when it appeared on Crunchyroll. Even not Crunchyroll, fucking Cartoon Network. Even I knew about it dropping, right? Because they aired ads for it on Cartoon Network. So, like, everybody knew that was dropping. And that was, like, one of the first big ones that I remember specifically. And I was like, I was there. Premiere night, I watched that shit. I was locked up, nigga. But I still made sure I had that channel for 30 minutes, nigga. Word, nigga. I was watching that shit. I gave up hella bread for that, bro. Not like actual money, like bread.
During the Dark Ages, you probably get a comment like, "Why are you showing me a
nigga got like 40 sandwiches off me, dead ass.
Giant monsters trying to eat people." Well, because it's peak fiction. But they weren't ready to hear that. Why? Because the table wasn't set for them to fully accept peak fiction. But if not Attack on Titan, what was going to set the table? And or who was going to set it? Well, much like most other things that become cool in the West, it all starts with black people. People like me. A lot of us really liked anime growing up. Characters like Naruto and Goku from Dragon Ball Z were a core part of our identity. However, a lot of us were closet anime fans. Like, we knew that other black people liked anime, but out of fear of being judged, we kind of just kept quiet about it. However, if we were to all unite under our love for anime, everything would change. And so we needed some pioneers, someone or a group of people who were able to go out in front of everybody else and say, hey, you know what? I like anime, what are you going to do about it? Which leads us to, boom, the first Great Anime Shift Nexus event. The release of When People Take Anime Too Far, Part 2 and or Part 3.
What the fuck?
It was from that moment where me, as well as many other black kids
what the fuck did I just tell you?
Fans of. You see, what RDC World was kind of a Roman road, connecting many different parts of the black community and or wider pop culture under one community. However, it wasn't just RDC. A bunch of other content creators around this same time were also starting to lock in and make
King Vader,
content. Creators
Caleb
like
Griffey,
King Vader, Caleb City, Lean In Cuisine started to push out content that encouraged the black community to accept anime at
I didn't watch this shit
anyway,
beforehand.
speaking of content
I lived this shit. This was really my nigga.
We cannot ignore one of the biggest.
I lived this shit, bro. Deadass. I lived this shit.
Things that ever happened in content creation in general. I'm sick and tired at the amount of great anime shift revisionist history that I see on this app. A lot of you guys don't understand.
Is there a part 2? Where's the part 2? Hold on.
When it comes to the great anime shift, we cannot ignore one of the biggest things that ever happened in content creation in general, which of course marks the second Nexus event, when ByteDance acquired Musical.ly and combined it with their app, TikTok. TikTok pretty much changed the game for the anime community, doing 3 things I think especially very well. The first thing is, of course,
wait, TikTok dropped in
audio, maybe even anime edits. Anime was able to reach
TikTok dropped in 2018.
More people subliminally without them going out of their way to look for it. Another thing that TikTok was able to do was spread clips far and wide. So now instead of people having to click on a longer YouTube video to hear about a cool anime, all they...
Hold on, no. No.
When it comes to the great anime shift, we cannot ignore one of the biggest things that ever happened in content creation in general, which of course marks the second Nexus event, when ByteDance acquired Musical.ly and combined it with their app, TikTok. TikTok pretty much changed the game for the anime community, doing 3 things I think especially very well. The first thing is, of course, trends. Through trending audio, maybe even anime edits, anime was able to reach more people subliminally.
I missed out on TikTok. I did not get into that. I didn't think it was cool. I had Musical.ly had a bad rep, right? Everything I heard about from Musical.ly was a bunch of fucking weirdo niggas who liked kids was on that shit to see kids dance, and I was like, yeah, why the fuck would I install that shit? You feel me? And then apparently that was ByteDance or whatever the fuck. They own that shit, and then they turned it into TikTok. And so I figured TikTok was finna do the same thing, and it has done the same thing. It's just not mainstream. But yeah,
without them going out of their way to look for it.
Maybe there was benefits.
Was spread clips far and wide. So now instead of people having to click on a longer YouTube video to hear about a cool anime, all they would have to do is just scroll on their For You page and come across a cool Sakuga clip. And last but of course not least, arguably the most important thing that TikTok did was show how many drop-dead gorgeous people were also into anime. I cannot tell you how many dudes hated on anime until they saw how many baddies were fans of it. So shout out to all the baddies out there. You really changed the
Megan Thee Stallion.
But what were all of these new anime fans going to watch? Well, in 2018, that very same year, Attack on Titan Season 2 came out. And now that the table was set, a lot of people were a lot more open to it. But however, I would say that even Attack on Titan wasn't the biggest gateway anime that came out during this time, because in 2019 another anime came out that
it was 2019
by storm.
It was 2019.
Great anime shift we cannot ignore.
It's the nigga.
Demon Slayer blew up and essentially became the most recognizable Great Shift anime. It was at this point where I recognized that anime was on its way to doing big things.
What did I say,
and it was
chat?
starting to move its way
What did I
into
say?
the mainstream. However, I was yet to behold the third Great Anime Shift Nexus event that would essentially take anime to a new height. And of course, when this thing happened, I think a lot of people can all agree that their mental health had took a beating.
COVID.
The first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Just kidding, of course, I'm talking about lockdown. Now, we all essentially knew what happened during lockdown. A lot of people were stuck inside and they needed new things to do. And so a lot of people who had been hearing about anime throughout the course of the shifting period were finally given the time to come into it. And at that time, October 3rd, Jujutsu Kaisen had released. And together with Demon Slayer, they both partnered up to introduce a whole lot of people into the anime community. And I would say that there was also a One Piece revival that happened during this time. Like before 2020, everybody hated on One Piece until they actually gave it a try. Now, a lot of people credit Lockdown as being the great anime shift moment. However, Lockdown and what happened within it wouldn't be where it was if it wasn't for TikTok and people spreading anime. And people wouldn't have been as emboldened to talk about anime if it wasn't from the push from the black community that essentially came from RDC world. And so each of these Nexus events stacked up upon one another, leading to anime finally becoming mainstream in 2021. At that time,
oh my God,
a lot of people
give this nigga a Grammy Nobel Peace Prize, son.
And I think that one of those things was
give him
anime.
Yes.
Especially Attack on Titan season 4.
Invite this nigga to DreamCon, bro. We need
And so, yeah,
we need him to drop this as historical facts, bro. I need this nigga to present this. I need him to present this as an actual research paper at DreamCon, son. Nigga, that make it a historic article, bro. Y'all gotta realize, I said, nigga, watch that shit back, nigga. I said it all. I'm giving this nigga a follow. I'm about to DM this nigga, bro. Dead ass. But we gonna be on the game, bro.